You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go!
Wow. What's up, guys? Welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 153. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on Twitter, and I am joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and artist extraordinaire, Roshan Warner at Roro, the host of Large Popcorn and video essayist, Christian Macias at ISO Christian, and
what is...
Gage is not here, but he will return next week.
Okay.
What's up?
What's up? Everything's up, man. What is happening with Liverpool this season? You know? Dan, do you have answers? Can you answer me this?
I have no answers.
Okay.
Not keeping up with the current season?
No.
Wow. Shame.
I'm not a soccer aficionado. I apologize. Anyways, thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. Just search Podcast PXN. You'll find us there. Twitch.tv/Podcast PXN. And for the final time, Twitter at Podcast PXN. I'll get into that in a second. But the topic of the show this week, guys, is Gamescom Opening Night live recap for this year. Let's go. Geoff Keighley back at it here again. But first, the show always starts with the quick bites, so let's go ahead and jump right in. But before we jump into the quick bites, just as a quick little house note here, Twitter streaming is no longer going to be a thing after this week's episode. I got a notification that our service that we use, Restream, they will only let us stream to 2 platforms starting on Monday of next week. So from here on out, we're just going to stream to Twitch and YouTube, which honestly might be better in the long run anyways, because you can't really interact with the Twitter stream anyways. There's no chat or anything. It's just the stream. So hopefully maybe the people watching there will just join us on Twitch or YouTube instead.
All right.
Moving into the quick bites now, guys. Our first quick bite, Avalanche Studios, the creators of Just Cause, were apparently making an Iron Man game that was canceled by Disney. And apparently they pulled the plug on the project back in 2012. So that's quite the scoop there, long before Marvel's Spider-Man and all the current successes of Marvel's video games. This sounds actually really cool, like especially with Avalanche's success with open world games. I feel like this might have been a cool thing. What do you guys think? Do you think could have been a cool pairing? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would have been a cool pairing. I don't know that much about the Just Cause games, but I have seen some gameplay, and it seems like they get jetpacking really good in those sort of games, and I feel like that would be a good match with Iron Man's thrusters and all that kind of stuff. So they might have had the traversal down for Iron Man really well, so that could have been cool. But obviously, I've only seen the one clip, and it was pretty cinematic, so I don't know what gameplay would have looked like. But it is disappointing. I would like an Iron Man game. That sounds fun.
Yes,
I'm on the other end where I'm like, yeah, I would have played really cool because Just Cause plays amazingly. Like Avalanche Studio really knows how to make like traversal really fun, and it could have been a really, very great traversal. I'd argue the 2008 Iron Man game was also, or 2008, late 2000s Iron Man game was also pretty fun to traverse in. But like, part of the reason why we love the Insomniac game so much is that they really nail the characters and the story. And I've never cared about like the Just Cause stories when I've played them. Like, I don't know if anyone does. Anyone really love those stories?
No.
What's going on with the Reapers? I don't remember what happened in Just Cause 2. Anyway, so that's like that'd be only like the only thing that is like maybe wasn't up to par was just like the story. So I don't know.
That's fair. Moving on to our next quick bite, guys. High on Life has been officially delayed to December 13th, 2022. We got this news last week before their extended gameplay we got at Gamescom, which we'll talk about here in the topic of the show. But it was delayed to December 13th, 2022. So gives it a little bit of extra breathing room from the fall madness, as you pointed out, I believe, Christian, to me in our chat. Yeah.
You don't want to be going up against in between Call of Duty and, God of War. all the other, or Sonic Frontiers. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Titanfall 2 did it, and it worked out. Oh wait, it didn't work out.
Turns out, did you know that was actually not EA's doing? That was Respawn's doing.
Oh,
Really?
Which is like, dang, Respawn. Why would you shoot yourself in the foot like this?
yeah,
Interesting.
very interesting. Moving on, guys, a game we've been talking about a lot lately. Multiverses is the highest grossing game for July, despite being free to play. How in the world? Like, I guess it does make sense though. Like, the game is really fun, so it pulls people into the free to play environment, and then you purchase characters with basically packs or whatever. So it does make sense that it's doing well because the game's a lot of fun. So it's cool to see this up on the top for July.
Yeah, I think it's also has to do a little bit with like, there aren't really a ton, quote unquote, of games to play right now. There's like no one zeitgeist thing that everyone is playing. Everyone's off doing their own thing. And when you have a free to play game launching, that's, filling in that little void of maybe people aren't like playing Smash right now or whatever. Why not? I mean, good for them though.
Yeah. I want to see them keep winning and updating this game because it's a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
I'm glad that they're making some money.
We need a PXN night of this.
Yes.
I refuse.
Oh.
Come on.
You don't like it?
I just don't want to learn it.
Oh, it's not that hard. You could just button smash it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if it's just us that's playing. Yeah.
As I pointed out today in our little private Twitter chat, everyone, here's the whole thing about me. I'm a hater, okay? Hey, what do haters do? They hate. Yeah.
I think that's a song, right? Haters gonna hate.
Yeah,
right.
Taylor Swift.
I respect Dan for going up to bat every single time.
Moving on from there, guys. PlayStation Studios has some film updates for us. The first one here, Sony is working on a film adaptation for Days Gone. Of course, the widely popular video game that they totally didn't just can. Why did you guys can the series and then now you're going to create a movie? Anyways, so the producers are eyeing Outlander's Sam Hegan to play Deacon St. John. Reported by Deadline, Sony is apparently developing the film with an adaptation from X-Men First Class story developer Sheldon Turner. I don't know if this is any names that are of any importance to you, Christian, but as the movie buff.
I mean, no, not particularly. I didn't recognize Sheldon Turner, but I do recognize X-Men First Class. Thankfully, it's not Bryan Singer. But anyway, this could be good. I don't know. I think, actually, no. I'll save my thoughts until you get to the next item.
Okay. And that next item is Gravity Rush film is also in the works. And apparently this is based on the PlayStation game, of course, and works from Scott Free. I don't know who Scott Free is, but I'm sure maybe Christian, maybe Will. I don't know. Anna Mastro also attached to direct from Emily Jerome's script. Emily Jerome is from Panopticon. Anna Mastro is from Secret Society of Second Born Royals. None of this is all like gibberish to me. I don't. But yeah, the open world PlayStation Vita game developed by Japan. Wait, Oh, it is a Vita game. I didn't even realize that game was a Vita game.
Yeah.
The first one was.
Okay. The first, yep.
I'm learning all the kinds of things by reading this article, everyone. But it has players that control Cat with an amnesiac with the ability to manipulate gravity. So you guys had talked about this being like more animated rather than live action. Is that what you guys want to see from this?
Before we even get there.
Yes.
Ro and I will probably be on the same wavelength on that. I want to answer a question that you asked earlier. Sony, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you taking games, an IP that you have like canceled, closed down a whole studio in this case for Studio Japan, Gravity Rush, and then are all of a sudden interested in making that IP into different things? It's just very weird business to me. Like they went out of their way. They made like this huge like mural of PlayStation characters. Cat was one of them. They put it on the storefront, and when they put it on the storefront, they digitally removed Cat from that image, just to have it like on the storefront.
Wow.
An erasure of a character that you are now turning into a movie. It just boggles my mind. And they're just like doing everything. The Twisted Metal TV show, sure. A Gravity Rush movie, I get. Is anyone like fiending for this? No. However, if with the right, if it looks good, with the right team, if it's animated, this could be really freaking cool. I mean, look at like Sony Pictures animation with like, you know, obviously Mitchell for the Machines is one that people really like a lot as well. Like that's Sony animation team. But of course, the Spider-Man Miles Morales movies that I'm blanking on the name right now. Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, of course, it's fantastic. So if this could be in a similar vein, it could be stunning. It would be incredible to witness because the game visually is really freaking cool. A movie format would be just as dope. Sorry, bro.
No, yeah, absolutely. I don't know what else I could add. I'm completely on the same wavelength as you said. I would love a Gravity Rush movie, but at the same time, I completely agree. It sucks that this is where we are, where the studio has no longer existed. We're probably never getting a Gravity Rush 3, but they're making a movie out of it, which I can't imagine how that must feel for the people who created the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I love Gravity Rush. Played it on the Vita back in the day. Played Gravity Rush 2 on PS4. Great games. So I'd be lying if I'm not excited for a Gravity Rush movie, but it is there's definitely a bad taste in my mouth about the whole thing for sure.
Okay. Well, at least someone is, sticking it back to Sony here, because our next story, Sony is being sued for €5 billion over PlayStation Store pricing. After reading the story, I was like, this makes no sense whatsoever. Like, why? No. This is from what I gather of this article. So apparently the lawsuit filed with the Competition Appeal Tribunal on August 19th states that consumers have been overcharged for digital purchases of games and DLC, as Sony is charging a 30% commission. Every platform does that. What, am I missing something here? Like, I'm very confused about that. So why are they suing Sony? I'm not really sure. We believe Sony has abused its position and ripped off its customers. With this legal action, I am standing up for the millions of UK people who have been unwittingly overcharged. Maybe there's something I don't know about the way the UK store works or something, but as far as I'm aware, it's just the 30% is basically the cut that the PlayStation Store takes from any game being on the store, just like Apple does with their store, Xbox does with their store, etc., etc. So I guess I'm confused as to what they are suing them for, to be honest.
And you're probably right. I think you answered it yourself in your own comment, which is it probably is just different taxing depending on countries. I just don't know what the UK's is like, let alone the rest of Europe.
Right.
So it could be something there.
Fair.
So, yeah, I'm a little confused, actually. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't think this is gonna go in their favor. I don't think they're gonna win this, but good luck to them. But you said they're overcharging in what way? Like the games are too much on their store?
It says, it just says games and DLC. So the purchase of games and DLC.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I mean, if they should sue anybody, they should sue Nintendo, if that's what they're going after.
Dude, I'm so funny. It's so funny you said that. The top comment on this IGN story is, should have started with Nintendo. Wow.
That's base. That's a base take. You like that?
Dan, you got it right. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right.
My God.
Moving on to our next story. PSVR 2 is seemingly releasing early 2023, according to official PlayStation accounts. And if you're listening to this podcast, Christian is praising everyone right now. praising Sony. So we got a little graphic that says PSVR 2, and they posted that it's coming 2023.
I'm on my knees, Jim Ryan. I'm praying. Give it to me. let it also. Oh god, I want like a PSVR 2 state of play ASAP. Actually, no. I want a September showcase with hella stuff, and in it, a whole 20-minute segment just on PSVR 2. Show me the games, give me a date, give me the price, and I'll open my wallet, baby.
Damn.
Wow.
You heard it here first. I hope we get a that would be cool. I would love a new state of play or showcase, especially on VR. That would be cool. I'm down for that.
I still
I,
think...
also,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
go ahead.
No, you
go ahead. No, what I'm about to say something completely different. So go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I was just gonna say Sony has the chance to make like PSVR 2 blow up. I really hope that they nail the price point, because I'm afraid that if it is $500 while it's on par with what Oculus is doing, I'm
They wouldn't buy
afraid
it. No one's gonna buy it
right
at $500, right?
That's what I'm afraid of. So I really hope they hit the right price point to be able to continue to support this over time, because they're obviously not going to support it if it doesn't sell well. So yeah, I really hope that they hit the sweet spot for the price there.
And yeah, we talked about it at length. Like it's on par with like higher end VR specs. So like,
yeah,
what is this price going to be? And honestly, they might just have to eat a huge chunk of it and hope that they make up for it in software sales. And I think if they do eat that cost, make it a little bit lower, make it maybe 400, but then also offer the VR titles on the PC side with their PC launcher. That opens up the audience to a whole plethora of people who maybe don't have PS5s but can still play PS5 games, so to speak. Yeah,
or
we'll have to wait and see.
Even just PC support in general, right? Like let you plug it into Steam and use it that way. I think that would be huge.
Absolutely.
Bro, what were you gonna...
I was going to shout out Kurok in the chat saying he's ready to to give his money to Sony for PSVR 2 as well.
Yeah, he's ready too?
Yep, he's ready. And he said he's watching us on his new 4K 50-inch TV. And I'm like, I am not worthy. I'm not worthy. How do I look in 4K, not even HD? Wow.
Although the stream is in 1080p, so I apologize, Kurok. We should have did a 4K stream for you.
next week.
Yeah, so yeah. Oh, Christian's got his original PSVR there.
Let's fucking go.
Wow.
It's time.
Wow. Can you put the camera into the lens so we can enter the world of VR?
I don't know if that'll work.
I don't either. Moving on to our next quick bite, guys. Big Battlefield 2042 improvements and updates are on the way by way of the official Battlefield Twitter account. Gage was very excited about this as well, so I want to point that out as well. The next Battlefield dev update is here. Our vision to reintroduce classes to 2042. Battlefield Portal weapons will be added to the 2042 armory, and map changes for Renewal and Orbital. These are very exciting updates, especially I think you were playing with us when we were talking about this as well, Christian. Me, you, and Gage were all talking about this. Like, one of the things that Battlefield 2042 is missing is a lot more weapons. So adding the Battlefield Portal weapons to 2042 is a huge win to instantly garner a lot more content into that play space, and also classes coming back. That's exactly what Battlefield fans want.
It's almost, it feels like, it still boggles my mind that this stuff is like coming like way later than it should have, but like this is literally exactly what Gage was saying when we were playing. It's like you have all these like kind of assets there with Portal, just put them into Battlefield 2042 proper. Lo and behold, here we are a few weeks later and they're actually doing it. So
yeah,
Gage, you're kind of a prophet.
Kind of a prophet.
Kind of.
So to give you a little bit of a timeline, August, which is of course this month, specialists and look and feel updates will come. So they're bringing a whole new visual upgrade to the specialists, and I guess they're changing some gameplay mechanics with them as well. And then we're getting a renewal map update, an orbital map update, September through November timeline, and then season 3, whenever that launches, I'm assuming sometime after December, the specialist class system will return to Battlefield. So very, very excited for that. So keep your eyes out for that. guys. Jason Schreier has officially gotten confirmation, which we had heard this rumor already. I think we reported on, as Christian reminded me. But he's getting confirmation that the KOTOR remake, Knights of the Old Republic, is being moved to Saber Interactive away from Aspyr. So that's in I guess, reaction to Aspyr's remake not doing so well or not going so well. So Embracer essentially said, all right, you guys aren't doing this anymore. We're handing this off to Saber Interactive instead, which they do have experience with remasters and remakes. Of course, they did the Halo Combat Evolved anniversary, and they did Halo 2 anniversary in the Master Chief Collection. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. And I want to see what this is going to be, because obviously some not so great development issues with this game already.
Yeah, I don't know. No thoughts here on this for me. Just have to wait and see. Really hoping for the best, because like whoever ends up finishing this game, whether it's Aspyr, not Aspyr. You just said it. Why am I blanking?
What happened?
What team just took over? Saber. Thank you.
Yes.
Whether or not Saber actually finishes it, like big shoes to fill. Like beloved game KOTOR. So
yes,
you got to do it right.
Absolutely, guys. Our next story: Resident Evil 7 was almost a live service game. What? Apparently, speaking with Shinji Mikami, Takeuchi said there was a big marketing push at Capcom to make a game that players are asking for, quote. At the time, this meant making a game with live service features, microtransactions, and other online elements. We were being told to make this, make that, Takeuchi said. It was really hard on the directors at the time. Online multiplayer this, downloadable content that, ongoing service games, microtransactions. Make a Resident Evil game that ticks all those boxes, they were told. Who was telling them? Why? Why was Capcom telling them this? No. Thankfully, apparently, Capcom president Kenzo Sugimoto eventually intervened. He called Takeuchi to say the current state of Resident Evil 7 was not good, apparently. There were so many demands at that time. Okay, that makes sense. When they were originally talking about that. Okay, yeah, thankfully this did not happen and did not pan out, because that would have been weird. Oof.
All the better, and like that led to Village, like
yes.
This is a brand new kind of era for Resident Evil, and I think had it gone the other way, I don't think Resident Evil would have stayed, would have come back the way it did. It's hard to, yeah,
we may not have gotten the 2 remakes we got, 2 and 3, and 4 on the way, of course. So interesting. Guys, we've talking a lot about this game. We've talking. Why did I just say talking? We've talked a lot about this game, and we've been talking about gameplay for this game. And here it is, Forspoken, 10 minutes of gameplay, guys. Who watched it? Who's excited?
I said, are we going to watch it? And then I just never got around to it. I got busy.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it? No. I watched it. I watched it. It looks good. I feel like I'm all over the place with this game every single time. Last time I was like, no, it does not look good. Now I'm like, it looks good. And the time before that, I said it looked bad. I'm all over the place with this game. It's a definitely. It's had some mixed showings multiple times. The writing still isn't quite hitting for me yet. The combat looks cool. Looks very hectic. There's a lot going on in the screen, but depending on the type of player you might like that. For me, it gets a little crazy at some points. And the environments look cool sometimes. There was a point at the beginning of this where she's walking into like I think it's called the Saipol region.
Yes.
And there's like this huge castle, and I was like, this is really flat. The shadows are way too dark, and the lighting here is not working properly. It looks like a PS2 sort of environment. And then you go to a later section, the game is like, wow, this looks pretty cool. This is actually well done. It's like, what happened earlier? So there's a lot of weird things going on in this trailer, where some things seem finished and other things don't, and I feel like it should be finished. But yeah, that's very mixed reception on this trailer for me.
Luckily, Ro, they have more time to finish it ever since it got delayed. Because you're right, like it looks like it needs polish. And when I said I didn't watch the full 10-minute YouTube video, but I did scroll and see like people were uploading clips from it on that thread. So I did see some clips, and then Disciple, I guess I don't know what you want to call it, like the club area is like part of the clips that I was seeing. And yeah, that area does look really flat. Hopefully that's something they can remedy like as they polish it. The more concerning thing for me is also dialogue and like the way NPCs like interaction, and even like movement of the main character through that environment just looks kind of awkward and just a little janky, which can be charming, but in this case, like I don't know if they have the room to be charming when there's so much stiff competition, not just in the fall, but like in early 2023 when there's like a lot of great games coming out around January, February, March. So yeah, it's tough to stand out these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because if this was like when I was looking at this and I was being kind of critical of certain moments, I was like, but what if this was this game? And I'd be like, if this was this game, I'd be like, wow, this is the most incredible thing. It's like, it's just interesting how we have different expectations for different games and different studios. And this isn't hitting it for me because it's coming from Square Enix. But if this was like a Pokemon game for some reason, I'd be like, wow, I can't believe they're going all out. Look at all these realistic stuff. Like, yeah, it's interesting, but I think it's good to be critical of it. And I think I also need to be critical of those games that I love as well. I use the same sort of eye that I'm using here, but I just thought it was interesting how I think about that.
Can I add something else too?
Sure.
Okay. It is so hard for me to get a pulse on my own reading for this game.
Right?
Because like I want it to be good. I don't want it to fail. I don't want any game to fail. And to be fair, like the combat does look good. Traversal, like since day one, has looked fantastic. And yet, at the same time, when I look at like the open world stuff, it just seems a little like, okay, like what are we doing? Like almost like a little bit boring. Like what? Why do I care? And it seems like they haven't answered that question for me. Like, why do I care?
It's fair.
I also just wanted to say, shouting out Kirk in the chat real quick, he already pre-ordered Forspoken a while ago, so he's locked in unless he cancels it. And he asked if it's Forspoken is on PS5 only. I think it's on PC too, but yes, I think it's exclusive to PS5.
Yeah.
All right. Are you excited for it, Kirik? I'm curious to hear.
Yeah. Have these trailers
PS5, I'm assuming, correct?
I would assume so if he pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
That's my guess, anyways.
Well, it's also on PC.
True.
You can pre-order digitally, but then Kirik did mention PSVR too. So anyway,
true. Brenty also says, "Hello, fellas." Thank you, Brenty.
Hello, Father.
Hello. All right, guys. Our last quick bite here. A Space for the Unbound has some troubling news. Of course, you guys were sharing this in the chat. I didn't know anything about this, so thank you guys for sharing this. So I'll just read this because I think this is a good post here. Dear Space Divers, we are sad to announce that we will be delaying the release of A Space for the Unbound until further notice. Earlier this year, we discovered that P-Cube Games, a UK-based publisher that we signed for the console publishing of A Space for the Unbound for Western regions, had done certain things which have left us feeling manipulated and exploited, and so we have had to terminate our agreement with them. At the height of COVID in August of 2020, P-Cube Games used our position and heritage as developers from Indonesia to obtain a diversity fund from a well-known console platform. The diversity fund was a grant fund intended to help underrepresented game developers, especially during the pandemic. However, instead of giving those funds to the developers as the grant was intended, P-Cube Games intentionally withheld information about the grant and used it as leverage for their own commercial gain. Rather than paying the grant money to us, P-Cube Games hid the facts about the grant's award and added it as a recoupable minimum guarantee and then used it to negotiate the increase of their revenue share. We have only uncovered the true amount of these funds and their intended purposes in March of 2022. We are absolutely heartbroken that a party we worked on worked with, would do this, and a project we have worked on for over 7 years has been taken advantage of in such a way. Since the uncovering of this issue, we clearly cannot trust P-Cube Games, nor continue to work together for the release of A Space of the Unbound, as P-Cube Games has fallen considerably short not only of reasonable decency, but also of their obligations to us due to these predatory practices. We have to make a stand against exploitative publishers and speak up against this to stop things like this from happening again in the future. Thus, we are also announcing that we have terminated our contract with P-Cube Games. As of this moment, P-Cube Games is still refusing to hand over publishing control on console platforms back to us. It is with a heavy heart that we must hold back the release of A Space for the Unbound so that we can make new arrangements and ensure that it is published as intended and in a way that is consistent with our and our community's values. Signed, Togue Productions and Mojican Studio. So yeah. What the hell? P-Cube Games, go fuck yourself, I guess, because what the hell are you doing? Another example of a publisher trying to use outside resources in order to manipulate a developer that they are working with. It's, pretty terrible.
Indie devs already have it hard enough trying to, expose their game to mass audiences so that hopefully they can make money off their gamble of a product. Don't make it harder by stealing their funds. That's disgusting. Come on, man.
Yeah, please. And I was listening to Kind of Funny earlier today, and they made a good point. It's like they've probably done this before to other people. Like this is probably the first time that they're getting caught, but there's a very strong chance that this isn't the first time they're kind of pulling shady stuff like this. So if they are doing this to other people, hopefully they do get exposed and that it doesn't happen again to other creators in the future. But yeah, it could be a case where those that happened in the past, but they didn't have the resources to move away from them like Toge was able to. And Toge is an awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say Toge is just an awesome publisher, and they publish some really cool indie games. Like we talked about Fami a while ago. He unfortunately passed away, but he worked with them a lot on Coffee Talk and What Comes After, and what's coming up soon is Afterlove EP. Those are some of his indie games, but he worked with them really closely, and they work with like Indonesian indie developers and people outside of America, which is really cool. So it's sad to see this happen to a market that is already having a hard time publishing games in the first place.
Yes. And hopefully with them speaking out about this, maybe other developers that have worked with P-Cube Games in the past can go back and be like, man, something similar happened to us. Like, let's go look into this. Like, and maybe they'll start to expose even more things going on with them. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm so excited for this game as well, by the way. I played the prologue in 2020. Can't wait for it to come out. So hopefully stuff looks up for them soon.
Absolutely. Keurig is in the chat. I am excited for adaptive triggers. Here I come. Keurig,
oh, baby.
We'll be talking about that a little later, so stay tuned for that. Glenn says, February Hogwarts Legacy. Glenn, we're not there yet. Anywho, moving on to our PXN news of the week, guys. Embracer Group started acquiring literally everyone. So, yeah, that happened. So there's a lot of stuff here. I'm going to try and go through them as much as possible here. Maybe I'll just cover the highlights here. So Embracer essentially covered a whole host of acquisitions that they announced in a series of threads that I read on Twitter, but they essentially acquired Middle-earth Enterprises, which includes Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit IP, which is just insane. Like, yeah, I want that IP. I'll take that for, many millions of dollars or billions, however much it was. They also purchased Tripwire Interactive. They're of Killing Floor and Maneater fame. They also acquired Limited Run Games, which is, I believe that's the company that makes like collector's editions and stuff like that of games that are traditionally digital. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. And then they purchased Tuxedo Labs. They purchased Singtrix. They purchased another undisclosed studio that creates PC and console games, which that's kind of a little weird. Like, why they announced all these acquisitions of a bunch of developers and then the one random one of undisclosed secret studio. It's like, well, why not just say who it is? Unless it's a big one. Like, maybe they're still waiting for approval or something. If it's maybe a big
it could
one.
be.
Embracer Group buys Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, so yeah, I think this kind of continues down our path of maybe having a little bit of a worry with Microsoft acquiring a bunch of stuff. Sony started to acquire some stuff, and now Embracer continuing down the path of having a very narrow amount of people or companies, I guess, that own basically the entire industry. So yeah, it's interesting. Not necessarily in a good way. I don't know.
Yeah, so I was actually talking to Elijah on the Easy Achievers show, on his show, and we like recorded the morning after this news dropped, and so I was like still gathering my thoughts, and I guess I still kind of am on this, but like my initial reaction was like, holy shit, this is huge, obviously, because it's massive, because we're dealing with stuff that's like outside of video games, right? We're like obviously gonna get Lord of the Rings stuff. We already are more Lord of the Rings stuff, but it's gonna be a lot of stuff from them outside of games. But also additionally games as well. So your Gollum game is still on the way, but you're also gonna get maybe some other games coming. Anyway, that was my initial reaction. This is huge. My second was like, well, like I did read Embracer's kind of philosophy, and they say that they aim to let studios kind of operate more independently, right? They have more autonomy. And I was like, hey, this is a good thing, right? Maybe we can allow these studios to have more autonomy, just they're backed up by funding. That could be good. And I was like, you know what? I take that back. Like, like when a group owns like so many things, and like we're looking at like how much stuff Tencent owns, like that kind of stuff is worrying for diversity. It's worrying for the consumer. And then additionally, we finally got, I think, the first published game since Embracer Group like bought all these studios, like bought and then developed underneath Embracer Group, and that was Saints Row. If I have my facts correct, that fact check me if I'm right. And like that game, it's not going super well, so not off to a great start from them.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly it's happened, right? Because like essentially THQ went bankrupt, okay? And they sold a bunch of their properties to all kinds of places. Well, one of the places that bought some of their properties was Nordic Games at the time. And they bought a few properties, like Darksiders, maybe a couple others. They rebranded in 2016 to THQ Nordic. And after they did that, they started to acquire like more THQ properties, like Destroy All Humans and Metro and Volition, like for Saints Row. So it was like they were acquiring all these THQ properties all over again, and they renamed themselves to follow that. And then, of course, they changed their name again, or like reformed to a bigger entity of Embracer Group, and now they've just been on a spending spree. So it's crazy how quickly like they just showed up, and like now they just own so much. It's real weird.
Where's all this money?
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy and kind of worrying to think about like what's next. Like what's our favorite IP that could be owned by one of these giants, and you just think like, please take care of them. Like I love them. Don't ruin them, and don't make them dormant, and just like don't just buy them to just do nothing with them as well. But you hope they treat them with care at the same time. But at the same time, it's not good. We don't want everybody to own one thing and nobody else gets to use it and be creative with it. But yeah, well, we'll see how this turns out. But it definitely looks like it's the trend right now, where companies are just buying stuff up and keeping it for themselves. So,
or worse, you could be, you could own Cartoon Network property and then just completely remove it forever from from your streaming platform.
I'm glad that it's not working out for them though. They're just losing so much money. HP or Warner Brothers right now. My God.
Yeah. Why? I don't know why they're removing all of that. It's like, anywho. our second and last PXN News of the Week item. Ro, of course, you're going to be very excited about this. Destiny 2 got their big reveal of the new expansion, as well as a bunch of new details as well. Got a big Twitter thread here of, I believe, everything that covers it, but Ro, you shout at me and yell at me if I miss something.
Yeah, sure.
Destiny 2 Lightfall is officially coming February 28th, 2023. It is a brand new area, and it looks very cool, like a cyberpunk neon city type scape, which looks real cool. Lightfall is adding a grappling hook for all 3 classes, which we were watching the Gamescom stream yesterday, and they showed an ad for the Destiny 2 trailer, which I hadn't seen yet. And Ro, I asked you, I was like, what is that? Is this Spider-Man? And you're like, yeah, it's a grappling hook. I'm like, what? That's awesome. But
It's really cool.
Destiny 2 will also add an in-game fire team finder in 2023.
Finally, right?
Oh my god. Finally.
Destiny 2 will also get in-game loadouts and a mod manager with Nightfall, which those looked really cool. The loadouts, I guess you could switch between groups of armor and weapons that you have in your inventory, or not even, they said it didn't even have to be in your inventory. It could be in your vault or whatever, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. You could just set your own loadout, and then when you want to switch to it, just select it on the screen, and there you go. You're equipped with all that stuff, which is, again, another finally moment, but
yes.
I'm glad that it's here finally, or coming.
Very cool. Yeah. I was watching their roundtable afterwards, and the developer, her name is escaping me. She was talking about it. She's like, I started here at Bungie, and that was my number one thing I wanted was loadouts. And then I finally got, I think she was a design director for Lightfall, and she's like, yes, this is a feature, and here it is. It's really cool. Destiny 2 is also coming to Epic Games Store with this announcement, which brings with it some Epic collaborations as well, both, pun intended, Epic and Epic the company. But we're getting a Fortnite X Destiny 2 collaboration. So we're getting Destiny 2 skins in Fortnite, which was already rumored, but very cool to actually see.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What? Hold on. What?
I have to go back to this. I'm sorry. I know I promised I'd be nice to you, but why would you say X and not cross in this instance?
I don't know. I'm dumb, Christian.
No. Because this leads to another question that obviously people kind of funny as that, but I want to ask you guys as well.
Yeah.
What is this button right here?
It's the
X
X
button.
Yeah, thank you. You guys are all right. Thank you.
Okay. Also, Fall Guys X Destiny 2, because of course, Epic owns Fall Guys as well. Yeah, I know. I still didn't say cross.
I would have said X.
It was funny that time though.
Yeah. And then they also announced that they will no longer be sunsetting any expansions in the future, which is pretty big announcement, which means Destiny 2 will be about 300 gigs in a few years. But no, this was all awesome stuff, and it got me very excited. Every time they do this, they announce this stuff, Ro, and I just want to jump back in the game, but I just never have the time to do it. But how excited were you for this live stream?
Very excited. I just want to start with the last thing that you mentioned is the most fresh thing. The sunsetting stuff may be exclusive to expansions. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, that's great. They're not sunsetting anything. But I realized they might sunset weapons. They could sunset locations. They could sunset seasonal stuff, which they do. So it is good that they're not sunsetting expansions, but they got to make space somehow for the next expansion. So they could cut corners in other ways. So it's not completely what we wanted, but it is good. Because getting rid of content that people played for is just straight up bad. You shouldn't do that. But it is good that they're at least not cutting the most expensive thing.
Yeah.
But Lightfall looks incredible. The city that you're talking about is on Neptune, which is probably the last place that anybody was expecting, which is awesome. Apparently Neptune is inhabited by this alternate reality version of humans who have survived the collapse. and they are thriving, and nobody knew about it, but now we found it, and now they're in danger because the darkness has found them too. So we're over there helping them out, which is really cool. And there's a whole new enemy race attached with it. So super exciting stuff. Yeah, February 28th. I don't know why I was expecting it to be further out than that, but that's not that far away. So exciting, very exciting stuff. And the new ability, the Strand, the Spider-Man stuff that we're talking about, looks really fun. It like you are very mobile with it. You could like attach it to pretty much anything, like the air, like
That's
nothing,
so cool.
pretty much. You could attach it to actual pillars that work with it a little bit better, that pull you forward. So it's going to be cool to see how people use that ability. And of course, there's new supers that come along with it too. Yeah, super excited stuff. And as I tweeted on Twitter, even when I'm taking a break from Destiny, I'm always hyped for Destiny news. So I was watching it, and then they got me back and playing the new season. So yeah, I'm excited for next year.
And to your point, Ro, that I think setting of Cyber City.
Yeah,
No, is it Cyber City?
it
Whatever.
definitely has those vibes. Yeah,
Yeah.
The Cyberpunk-esque
Yeah,
city on Neptune
definitely, yeah.
is so refreshing, I think, in my opinion, that it's almost enough to have me consider like going back to Destiny.
Wow.
and they talked about how much they did this for Witch Queen too, but they're really trying to sell the whole campaign thing. So even if you're not going to stick around, they want you to at least play this campaign because they want it to be on par with Halo stuff, Doom stuff, and I think that's really exciting for people who don't want to stick around for the live service stuff. You're at least getting a really solid campaign.
Yes.
And the environment looks like it's perfect for that kind of thing that they're trying to do.
And you know what? Their vidocs every time are phenomenal. Like, I watched nearly that entire... It was almost a 4-hour video. I watched almost the whole thing. Like, I just love watching them talk about it. Like, they're genuinely excited about this
So
stuff.
passionate about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And like they made the one comment that like some people may seem like be like, oh, that's an offhanded comment, where they were like, yeah, we're taking our history of Halo and Destiny and all of these other franchises that we've worked on and putting them into this. And like you actually see it with Lightfall, because like I saw the city and I was like, this instantly reminded me of Halo 3 ODST, where you're taking the entire game takes place in a abandoned city, and you feel like alone, and like the cityscape of Halo 3 ODST just reminds me so much of what they're doing here with Lightfall, taking you to a completely different environment that you're not really used to, like the navigating streets and such. And I think that's very cool. Yeah.
I know Carrick was on this train when we were doing the the stream yesterday, but he says in the chat, Destiny, meh. And I will say, how dare you, sir, first of all.
How dare you?
Say what you will about this story. I will never argue that this... I think it's fantastic now, but where it started, not fantastic. Yeah. But Destiny, the gameplay alone, it's like some of the best shooting ever. Yeah. So
it does feel really good to play.
Yes. So if you don't like everything else surrounding Destiny, the gameplay at least should be enough. Yeah.
And some could argue that Activision screwed up the story, because there was many rumors back in the day. I remember patrolling the Bungie.net forums, and there was a ton of rumors that said that Activision's marketing essentially changed the story of Destiny because they effed it up so badly. So, yeah. Because Joe Staten originally wrote Destiny's story, and then they had to completely change it for some reason. So, I don't know.
It's an Anthem situation.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, guys. Moving into a quick fantasy draft check-in. How are we doing over there, guys? Ro, you got Soul Hackers 2 that released. It released to not great acclaim.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's a 75.
More.
Yeah. 75 right now, and it's netting you 5 points. I guess not what you were expecting out of that.
Not at all. I thought the Persona nuts would come out for this and love it, but I guess not.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
There was that one reviewer that gave it a 9.
Yeah.
The Mako Reactor.
That guy really loved it.
Yes.
Everything else was like pretty much like 7s and 8s, maybe a little bit lower, but yeah.
Yeah. Most of them have been 7s. I've seen lower scores than that too. So, yeah. Bummer.
Which is a surprise to me. I thought this would have been a lot higher, in my opinion. Obviously, I think Ro did. You probably did too.
Yeah, Game Informer apparently gave it a 6.5. That's where I saw it.
No bueno. Ro, you're the next one up with another game coming September 9th, and that is Splatoon 3. So
yes.
Very excited.
I'm excited for that game too.
That's only a couple weeks away, so we might have some reviews from that in 2 weeks. So see how that does. Moving in to our PXN best of all time, guys. We got our results from our August voting on Twitter. The winners for each have been revealed. Gage, his had to go to a tiebreaker round because he had a tie between Delta Halo and Rapture. Of course, Rapture from BioShock was the winner there. So congratulations to Gage's Rapture. Christian, would you like to reveal your winner?
Yes, my winner is Aperture Labs from Portal 2. And mine was almost a tie too, as well, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
With not Shadow Mode, with Lordran from Dark Souls. So it could go out. It was going either way, and ended up going Aperture Labs. And let me tell you, if you've been following along with these every month, I did a video edit for every one of them. I started out with Elden Ring, did a video edit for Ellie from The Last of Us, and I'm doing one for Aperture Labs, and I'm just about done. I'm doing the final touches right now, actually, as we speak, and it's a banger. I'm gonna edit.
Now the question, Christian, is will it be enough to get the win finally?
It doesn't matter. I'm having so much fun with these edits. It really doesn't matter.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so my winner was the Capital Wasteland from the Fallout series, beating out the Ark from Halo 3. I'm just sad. Sad. No. It's a great pick. It's a great pick. Ro, what was?
Is it though?
Yeah, it's a Capital Wasteland. Fallout 3 is
okay. If you get to jab at me, I get to. I'm Dan. I gotta pick. Halo this and Fallout that for all my polls.
Wait a minute. That's not true. Who won the last one, Christian? Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Shut me up.
Ro, who won? Who won your poll? Who won your poll? No, who won your poll?
My poll, Seattle from The Last of Us 2 won my poll. The Dreadnought, I won't say it wasn't far behind. It was pretty far behind, but that's what came in second place. But yeah, Seattle from The Last of Us 2, I'm happy with that. I think that's a good choice, a good final pick to go up against your guys's.
Yeah.
Will it win? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But
I don't know.
I guess you don't know yet. Yeah.
I love that yours is a real place.
Seattle. I mean, I think Seattle's a great place in real life and in video games. Yeah.
One time? No, I shouldn't say this.
Shouldn't you?
You started. You have to say it now.
I used to have an ex who had her parents had a spare bedroom apartment like in the Seattle Center. Seattle Center is like the area with the Space Needle and all that fun stuff. You know, the Museum of Music there, I think, or the Art Museum. Anyway, so like it has like big windows and like you could see the Seattle Center from it. And
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, I'll stop here.
Use your imagination, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, okay. Guys, our finals poll will run August 29th through the 31st, and it will run through episode 1. Wait, why do I have 149 there? I didn't update that. Sorry. 154. So it will be revealed next week. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, and make sure you guys come over to vote on that as well. So, guys, what you got for me? Let's go ahead and start with Christian because we've been playing something.
Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot about this. You're right. I wouldn't have even brought it up actually if
What?
I forgot about it. Yeah. Dan and I sat down over the course of 2 days and we played through the Halo CE campaign. And let me tell you, I very much wanted to pick up where I left off in my campaign. And Dan was like, no, let's just restart. It won't take very long. I doubted him. And he was very much right. It took us like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes to catch up to where I was. Just ran through it. But does Dan want my actual thoughts on Halo CE?
Sure. I mean, to preface, of course, this is 2022 thoughts on a 2001 game. Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay.
Yep.
In my review on GG, I guess I'll expand my review. I started out with the phrase, it's ahead of its time. Because I think for when this game actually came out, it was by far ahead of its time. And you could argue that Halo 2 was probably equally as ahead of its time, but I haven't played that one yet. That said, I am playing this with the perspective of a 2022 Christian, and in my opinion, hasn't really aged the best. Obviously, it's an older game. It's an original Xbox game.
Yeah.
It's got, I'm sure people who are like nostalgic for it have its love for it. I am not nostalgic for it, so I didn't feel that attachment. And I almost akin this to people who are getting into Uncharted for the first time and go play Uncharted 1. I'm like, oh man, this game is, people like this game, isn't that good. That's almost how I felt. Obviously, I think Halo has better shooting mechanics maybe than Uncharted, and like it does have some great traversal in terms of like the vehicles in it are pretty fun. Maybe not the Warthog; it's a little slippery, but the Banshee, I think, and the Ghost. Dan knows that I was having fun playing using those. So, all this to say, even though I didn't love Halo as much as everyone loves Combat Evolved, I think it's it's fine. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. I still appreciate it as an artifact of like video game history, and sure, like I'm gonna keep playing them because why not? Like when we were halfway through Halo, I was like, man, kind of want to hop back in with Dan and finish the game because I was having fun playing them together with him. So thank you, Dan, for playing CE with me.
I never thought it would happen. Thank you for playing with me. That was fun.
Yeah, anytime. Just gotta wait for Gage now.
Yeah.
For Halo 2.
You know what? If you were waiting on me for Halo 2, we would have already been done.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I do want to shout out another game that I've been playing this week. Still climbing the ranks of Rocket League. I've gotten back into this hard. Still, I think my favorite game of last generation. It's up there. Probably The Last of Us, actually. Or I guess that's the PS3 era. Anyway, Rocket League, one of my favorite games of all time. It's in my top 10, maybe top 5, maybe top 3. I don't know.
Wow.
I'd have to think about it. Yeah, it's that good. But I've never like made it out of Platinum Division in ranked. I could never claw my way out of Platinum 3 to make it into Diamond. And I think I'm trying. We've been training with my friend and I've been like trying to really like nail our aerial dribbles. I should say, not combat. I'm thinking Halo. Aerial dribbles. And it's tough, but it's so much fun. Like that game just feels so good to play. The other day I was like 3.5 hours went by just like this, just competitive RL playing, baby. I'm all about it. So catch me on the pitch, bitch.
Hell yeah.
Quote it. Ro, what you got for me?
I've been playing Multiverses. I played a little bit of that a little bit earlier this week and late last week. I've been having a blast. I have not unlocked Velma yet, but I have been having a lot of fun with Batman and Harley Quinn. So far, I'm maining Harley Quinn. She's really fun to play. I touched LeBron James. I touched LeBron James. I played as LeBron James for a little bit.
Holy shit, Ro. Wow.
I played a little bit as LeBron James, and he was cool. Still weird to play as LeBron James. Even weirder to have been touched him as well. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's really fun. I'm excited to see them add new characters to this. Rick and Morty are supposed to be coming soon with the start of season 1. And I'm excited to see what other characters they bring to this because they have an entire multiverse to choose from, as they say. Mm-hmm. And with how Warner Brothers is going, who knows what may belong to them in the future? They may just get rid of everybody. And maybe this is the roster. We'll never get anybody else again. But
they should put in the president, Zaslav, of Warner Brother and Discovery, so I can
his ass. Yeah, let's do that. Add him in. Do it. What's the name of this studio? play something. Yeah, do it, you cowards. But yeah, it's a really fun game. I would love to play with you guys for sure. It is lots of fun. I've also been playing Destiny 2. The new season dropped yesterday, and I'm having a blast with that. Really cool seasonal activity. Cool story stuff. It's a Fallen-based season, which we haven't gotten in quite some time, so it's cool to see those guys again. And I've been playing Roller Drum, which is a new game that came out a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. I don't remember, but it's so fun. It was more challenging than I had thought, but I beat it a couple of days ago, and I want to go back and play it's a mode that unlocks after that is really cool. But yeah, the whole comboing and the combat of the whole thing, it's so cool, such a nice style. Yeah, I really love Roller Drum, so that is definitely on my list of my favorite games this year so far. As you know, I haven't played that many games this year, but it has definitely been added to the list. So yeah,
I'm glad you're digging it.
Yeah,
kind of a short game, but it's still felt really fun to play.
It was short. Did you beat it? I'm assuming you said it was short.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Did you go to the what's it called? The Out for Blood mode? Yeah.
Or maybe it is Out for Blood. I think
Back
for Blood is a game.
Yeah.
I did not, because I feel like I didn't master the other challenges well enough for me to go into that mode. But I also didn't feel the need to go back, just because I felt like my time with it, like towards the end of it, I felt like, okay, I've seen enough of what this game is doing. Because I felt like for the first 3/4, I was like, this feels fresh the whole way through. The final fourth, I was like, okay, this is almost a bit too much of the same. Where I'm seeing the similar stadium is too much, but just me.
Interesting. I gotta play some Roller Drum after your guys' impressions. It looks really cool. So
I think you'd like it, Dan.
Okay.
I told you.
Okay. Dan, what you got for me? Well, I played a little bit more Battlefield 2042, but actually, Ro, you reminded me, I also jumped back into Destiny 2 a little bit, because I was like, man, I really got to finish that Witch Queen campaign that me and Ro started, but then I never got back to it, because Ro, of course, you've been very busy with school, so I didn't want to bother you to try to finish it, and I didn't finish it on my own accord, so I was like, I just need to go back and finish it. So I start up the game. What do? I do the seasonal content the day before the new season drops, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll just do this then, I guess. This is going to just direct me through this. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, and maybe I'll jump back into some more Destiny 2 with you, Ro, if you want to.
Heck yeah. Play. Yeah, if you want to finish that story, we could totally try it finish it on Legendary.
Yes,
probably not.
Yeah,
but
we could do it on normal. Yeah, at this point, we've gotten past the point of Legendary. But it's so cool to hear them talk about Legendary. Also, that was a big motivation for them for Lightfall.
Yeah, that most players actually finished it on that. Like 2 out of 3 players. Like, you guys are crazy, but
it was a third. And it was so satisfying though. Like, we were doing it with just 2 of us, and we were getting through it. It was difficult, but we were getting through it. Like, if we had a whole team, we would have been able to. I think we would have been able to do it. But anyway,
I want to do it.
Well, join us, Christian.
I want to raid with the boys.
We could raid.
We can raid.
3-man team, right?
We cannot raid.
LFG, they're making it.
True. Lightfall, we could do it.
Yeah. Crossplay, etc. Anywho. Into the topic of the show, guys. All the Gamescom Opening Night Live announcements all are here. We have a lot to unpack, I guess, here. There's so many announcements. I mean, yeah, that's true. There's not a whole lot of big announcements. Maybe I'll try to just cover the big ones, and then if there's any that you guys feel I'm missing that you guys thought were standouts, you yell at me. The Callisto Protocol, we got a nice look at that, a nice new chunk of gameplay, and man, it sucks to get sliced in half by a fan.
Yeah, jeez.
That game looks incredible. I honestly wish the demo was a bit longer, maybe if it was like a 5 to 7 chunk of uninterrupted gameplay without because this was maybe 2 minutes of a stealth section and then 2 minutes of a slide.
Yeah,
and it was cool. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like if it was just one chunk, I'd be more into it. But that said, oh, come on, like I'm so excited for this game. I can't wait. I don't want to see any more of it until it comes out.
Ro even said, like, while we were streaming, Christian, that when we were on the slide part, and he's like, this is like the Tomb Raider sequence where you're in the water.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, she dies like from spikes on those sometimes, and then all of a sudden he gets chopped in half by the fan. That was so cool.
Bro, that was a perfect
Yes.
callback, because that is just what Tomb Raider was like. Yeah.
Yep.
This looks really cool. As much as I'm probably not going to play it, like the mutation stuff that they have for the enemies, like all of that sounds
Oh my god.
so cool. So, and I wish I wasn't such a scaredy cat, because there's so many horror games that look so freaking cool that I want to play, but I know I wouldn't be able to get through it because I would just get super scared and just turn the game off. But these games look so cool, so I wish I was the market for this.
I went back and watched that demo last night in 4K. Okay, full disclosure. I was off a gummy. And there's like a section where you're like shooting off like the limbs, obviously like a la Dead Space, of course. And like this monster dude, I don't know, parasite person is like walking without missing an arm and missing like part of its head. And then like it goes like this, and then it like emerges back with like full limbs and a body again, because like it like regened its shape back. And I was like, damn, this is messed up. And the combat looks heavy too. Like it like looks really brutal. Like that's,
Yeah.
I'm all about it. It looks very cool. And then like they just, use his pistol, just grab him super easy and then push him into the fan. It's like, okay, let me just do that to begin with.
Is this a next gen exclusive, or is this coming to PS?
Next gen exclusive.
Got it.
Wait, is it? No, it's not, I don't think, actually. Sorry.
Huh?
I don't think it is. I think it's coming to everything, including, it's coming to PS4 and Xbox One as well. Yeah.
Probably not.
Not the Switch.
wish.
Not the Switch, no.
Bro, turn the lights on. Don't
Yes.
play with headphones.
Turn the brightness up.
And then put, volume low. Put a little lo-fi music in the background if you need to. I think you'd play it.
Maybe,
Yeah, if the setting is correct, maybe I would play. Yeah.
maybe start with Resident Evil, because I feel like Resident Evil would be less scary than this. Maybe
I
not.
did play a good chunk of Resident Evil 2 Remake, but I stopped at a certain point. But
Okay.
yeah, we'll see.
The first half of RE2 is the scariest.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I got through the worst part of it, huh? Okay. Maybe I'll go back to that and then.
I don't know. Mr. X is
Spooky. He just
is
pops
that,
out of
is
walls.
that at the start?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I did run into him when I was playing it, actually.
He comes in pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Anyways, the next one. The next one, Sonic Frontiers. Personally, I thought that this trailer got me more excited for it. Not to say that I'm like astoundedly, or I don't. That's not a word. Extremely ecstatic. Yeah, about this game, but I think that there was some cool environments that they showed off here, and even like one of them that kind of harkens back to the old Sonic, like 2D Sonic. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how this game shakes out.
I am too. Ro, if I can jump in.
Yeah.
I think they almost kind of nailed the trailer for me. And the vibe seems right. They showed me just enough snippets of like the 3D sections where I'm like, this is what I want out of Sonic. And it's granted, it's just a trailer though. Like I when I saw the gameplay and the combat trailers like that, it was like the moment, the actual like when I'm spending time with the controller, that stuff still worries me. But like in terms of like what this does for like the story, I kind of got more excited than I was beforehand. It's hard for me to explain. Do I have faith this game is going to be good? I don't think so. Do I want to play it now? I think so.
Wow.
I don't know.
I think this is going to be one of those games where even if it's bad, I'm going to enjoy it just because of the story and like the cutscenes. Like I'm just going to enjoy that part of it alone probably. And if the gameplay on top of it is good, then even better. But yeah, I think this is a really cool trailer. There's like pretty much Koroxis at the beginning, not hiding. There's like Breath of the Wild influence that we're probably going to have to save those little guys. I think the name of those characters are pretty similar to even Korok as well. But seeing Amy, hell yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, I think this is really good showing, probably the best trailer that we've gotten so far for this game. And they don't care about God of War. That's some balls on them. But again, I guess it's different audiences. But I think this game is going to sell despite that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is a good trailer. Good trailer. And again, like Christian was saying, I don't know if it's going to be a good game, but I'm here for it.
And of course, God of War is only on PlayStation 4 and 5 anyways, so you do have other platforms for Sonic Frontiers to maybe do a little better on. So,
True.
Yeah. Guys, we also got another look at Hogwarts Legacy, which I know Glenn would be very excited about. He's a big Harry Potter fan. So I still don't know how I feel about this game. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fanatic. I thought the movies were okay. They're fine. I mean, they're fine. I don't get too excited about Harry Potter. I mean, they're fine, but interesting. And interesting, as we talked about on the stream as well, it's an interesting dichotomy that they're in still of, deciding do you support the developer because it's their work without trying to think about supporting the original writer and creator of Harry Potter being involved. So yeah, it's still a tricky subject, I feel like.
Yeah. And it makes me sad too, because the game does look actually pretty good, to be honest. And I think this is what everyone wanted out of a Hogwarts game for such a long time. And it looks like they're nailing it, not just on the actual place of Hogwarts, but the story seems a little bit enticing. The actual moment-to-moment gameplay looks good. Traversal even looks good. I think for me, it's coming down to what am I ultimately supporting, right? And at the end of the day, Harry Potter, that money does go back to J.K. Rowling, and that money does flow repeatedly, consistently. She donates to anti-trans funds, and is that where I want my money indirectly going? I don't know. But if you want to support the developers, I totally understand that too, because they did their best to distance themselves from J.K. Rowling as best they could.
Right.
And if you're playing this game, I'm not gonna knock you for it. You're allowed to have your cake, I think so.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the unfortunate thing about the game, because I feel like if you take away the Harry Potter license from this game, I think the game would not sell as well, nearly as well, because it doesn't have that license, that bravado behind it. So it is an unfortunate position that they're in. Even if they make a great game, it may not sell that well if they don't have that Harry Potter license attached to it. So, yeah. Guys, further look at Gotham Knights. Did this get anybody super jazzed about it? I think Ro, you sounded like you were on board, and I might join you, and Christian might.
Yeah, I feel like this is like Sonic for me, where
Yes,
this is the best showing of it. I was like, okay, you got me with this one, and yeah, I liked what I saw in this one. Harley Quinn being I think they said the main baddie is kind of really.
What?
Kind of goes really cool. Well, not the main baddie. There's obviously the Court of Owls as well, but aside from them, she's going to take center stage as well. I think she was featured quite a bit in this.
Mr. Freeze and Clayface as well.
Yes, yeah. Clayface is another one of my faves. So yeah, that's really cool. I'm excited to see what the story is about, and yeah, I think I said on the reaction stream yesterday that I am going to give this a shot. Yeah.
I don't want to knock the game more than I already have. But I still very much worry about the story. Court of Owls is a much different story, of course, than the original comic, and this is not that. And then I think just the game still has a lot of jank every time they show it. It doesn't have the right appeal to me. But at the end of the day, it's still a Gotham game. And maybe it could be fun with friends. I don't know. I mean, it's just the exact same thing with Sonic. We're do I think it's gonna be good? I don't have faith that it will be, but it still could be a fun time to play with friends. I don't know. Will I be willing to spend $70 on it? Is more of a question.
That's fair.
Cosmetics look cool.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on there.
So does Barbara.
Can I just say, I'm not a huge fan of Harley Quinn's design in this compared to the old Arkham games. I felt like the older Arkham games were more traditional Harley, I feel like. But this is kind of a bit more pared back design, I guess. I don't know.
So you didn't like
Yeah.
Arkham City Harley?
I honestly don't remember our Arkham City Harley.
She had like the corset and the.
Oh, I love that
Yeah,
Harley.
I like that design too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it's tough, and like you can't do the same designs as
True.
the previous universe, because I don't know if is it the same universe.
No.
I think this is it's not, right? And
Right.
so yeah, it seems more in line with Harley from the newer film, which is like Birds of Prey and stuff,
Yep.
Suicide Squad, whatnot. So
Absolutely. A surprise here, guys. Dune Awakening, a open world survival MMO that is in the Dune universe. At first, I think I thought it was the Dune RTS that they announced at the Game Awards. Christian, you'll remember we watched that trailer live.
Yes.
In the Microsoft Theater. But no, I thought this was... Obviously, it's a CG trailer. It's an intriguing concept, I guess. Maybe Gage will be on board as a survival game, although it's an MMO, so I don't know how.
that's
on board
exactly
he'll
where it
be.
lost me. They
Yeah.
had me all the way. I was like, this is. I mean, I still didn't have faith that like a Dune game would be like very good. I don't know. It's very. How do you make that into a game? But yeah, seeing MMO, I was like, yeah, I gotta bounce. Not my thing. I'm sorry.
For sure.
Do you think like a cinematic sort of like similar to Naughty Dog, sort of
Yeah.
that would be a cool way to do a Dune game?
And it would be
Yeah.
cool. I would still like. Where would the gameplay be? I guess is yeah. I don't know. It would come. You would have to like fast track the first half of that book, and then the second half. All right, train. Okay, no, I'm not gonna spoil the rest of the Dune. I need everyone to go watch Dune.
All right, guys. So what closed out the show? Surely the closing must have been Goat Simulator 3, right? No, it is actually the actual Dead Island 2 that got announced with an actual gameplay trailer, and the game is coming February 3rd, 2023. I actually had it in our notes to talk about a leak that happened late last week with it appearing on Amazon, but of course, here it is. So, I think this game has been in development hell at this point, so I think it's interesting. It's finally coming out, of course, from Dam Buster Studios now, so it's like the third different developer on this game. They were formerly the Free Radical guys who made Time Splitters. Of course, that was 20 years ago, so it's probably not actually those guys, but you know what I'm saying. But I thought the gameplay looked okay. I think it's interesting to try to compare this game to Dying Light 2, which is literally the developer of the original Dead Island, Techland, who makes that game. So it's interesting. I'm interested to see how this game does after being in such a long development cycle. But man, some of those kills were gruesome.
According to Thailand, people were sold. People who were into the Dead Island games were very much on board. So
Yeah, it looks visually like appealing, but it'd be interesting to see if they can actually deliver.
and that's coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
February. Yeah.
It would have been bad if there wasn't a like after being quiet for so long and just being, like you said, in development hell and
Yeah.
going quiet after that trailer so many years ago. And it's like, we're back, but I don't know. We don't want to tell you when we're coming out. So thank God they had a release date for it, or else it would have been another. Who knows when we would have seen it again, right? So that's good. I'm glad that is coming.
Absolutely. I'm going to go over a few more just real quick here. Everywhere, a metaverse-sounding game coming in 2023. It's from one of the original creators of Grand Theft Auto. He left Rockstar to go create the studio to make this game. PlayStation DualSense Edge was announced.
We got to stop and talk about this.
Okay.
We got to stop and talk about this because this has been rumored for a while. We saw the patent on it for a while. We finally got details, and I think it looks really, really hot. There are a couple things that I think maybe might hold it a little bit back. Because I think in terms of competition, obviously Scuff is the controller that we're going to be keeping an eye on to see how well the DualSense Edge will do. There are two factors. One is that the paddles on the DualSense Edge, it's limited to 2 paddles on the back, whereas Scuff, I think, has 4. So if you need more paddles, you may not be wanting to do the DualSense Edge option. The other thing we don't know is price. what will like controller $70 I think right now, right? Or are these more expensive? $70 to $80, something like that. So and the Xbox Elite I think is 150 or 200.
150. Yeah. Well,
150.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry. 150.
So like, where's this gonna land? Obviously, it can't. I don't think it'll be less than 150, but it could be upwards of two. It might be around $200. Scuff goes up. Scuff goes up to 250, and like they make great controllers. Do they want to go up against Scuff and eat some of that competition? Then I think 150, 160 might be that sweet spot. But like this controller like looks really good. It's aesthetically really hot. You still have the adaptive triggers. I Scuff has that as well. But I think a big one as well for me is that it comes with one completely removable stick. So if you start getting drift, you can remove it and place a new one in. But it has 3 different versions of those sticks, and I'm trying to find what the verbiage was. But essentially, it's more of a curve in. If you wanted to have like
convex.
Thank you.
Yes.
And up, of course, there's different profiles, instant switching, remappable buttons, USB-C, of course. It looks very cool.
You're spot on, Christian. The freaking thumbstick interface that you can remove the entire like module is huge, because I've had many Xbox Elite controllers, and I say many because I've had like 3 or 4 of them, which is so frustrating. I've had to send them in for repair, they come back, etc. Where the stick or button or something like stops working or whatever, and I have to like basically start over. And that's very frustrating for something that costs $150 like to have. So like to have the whole stick unit come out and you can buy a new stick unit only to replace is really cool. I think that's a huge feature for this controller.
Oh, it looks like the back buttons are removable, swappable, I should say, as well. So,
okay.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the only weird thing I find on this controller is like those front buttons that are
exactly
below.
What I was gonna ask.
Yeah, those are like a little weird, like under the thumbstick.
Oh, the function buttons.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit weird. I forget what their purpose is, but I think it's obviously I think it's also for a PC use, but also I think if you're changing profiles. Here you go. The dedicated function button allows you to easily adjust your setup while staying focused on the in-game action. Quickly swap between your preset control profiles, adjust game volume and chat balance, and access the controller profile settings menu to set up and test new control iterations while in-game. So like all happens with those buttons on the controller. You don't have to fiddle around anywhere else. Very cool if you need a quick fix.
You know what? That's better. I thought that they were like extra buttons they were putting under the sticks, and I'm like, why? That's not really helpful. Yeah, but that makes a lot of sense actually, Christian. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, I'm good to go.
Yes.
Hold on.
What?
I'm buying this. Yeah, okay. Just had to say that. I'm buying it.
Nice. Microsoft, please make removable thumbsticks, please. Anyway,
I'm sure they will.
Lords of the Fallen. It's called The Lords of the Fallen now. It's a new game for the sequel, essentially. It's the new name for Lords of the Fallen 2. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that aspect, because I knew Lords of the Fallen 2 was a thing, but I thought this was a sequel to that. I didn't realize that they're chinging the name to that. Okay. Oh.
They dropped the 2 and added added another the. Yes.
That's funny. Okay. We got Moving Out 2, which is a sequel to the co-op party game. We got, this was a cool one for me, New Tales from the Borderlands, which is a follow-up to the Telltale developed Tales from the Borderlands. This is being made by Gearbox, and it looks really, really funny. Again, like I think those characters in that world really fits this style of storytelling really well. So that's cool. Let's see what else we got. Dying Light 2 Bloody Ties DLC was announced. It's very bloody. Tortuga, A Pirate's Tale was announced, a turn-based strategy pirating game. Marauders, and you guys stop me if there's one thing.
Dude, you're gonna keep reading. You're gonna keep reading, man. I'm sorry.
Marauders, a multiplayer FPS set in the alternate 1990s. Destiny 2.
Which, okay, I'll stop you there.
Yes.
I mean, art style looks cool, and this is indicative, I think, of a larger problem. I'd say with wait, hold on. I might be playing the wrong trailer here. No, I'm playing the right one. Never mind. A lot of CG trailers with not much to back them up, and I'll get more into that a little later as you move forward.
Okay. Destiny 2 Lightfall, which I think that was just an ad, which they put it in here as an announcement, but I think that was just an ad. Anywho. Under the Waves, which I think, Christian, maybe did that make a wave with you and Ro,
Okay.
I believe?
It made a splash with me because I think in terms of tone, they nailed it, and like I'm all about narrative games, even more so when they present them in like a very melancholy fashion. I'm like, yes, let's feel sad and experience that together. Quantic Dream, I think, is the worry. Like, I don't want to be supporting Quantic Dream, but like there is some kind of a silver lining that they are partnering with an outside studio. It's only being published by Quantic Dream. And like, I don't know. I don't know this new studio. I don't know who they are. But I may be like interested in like possibly giving it a shot because it's not quite the same as supporting Quantic Dream, the studio itself. So I don't know.
True. Get some underwater action. Goat Simulator 3 was also shown off again, which is kind of funny that it was shown off with Dead Island 2 in there as well after that trailer that they showed off not too long
Missed
ago.
opportunity not to link them together again.
Yeah. Which both are owned by Embracer Group, which I thought it was a missed opportunity. Why not throw Dead Island into the, Goat Simulator trailer? Yeah. But anywho. Return to Monkey Island got a new look. I know there's a lot of people, there's some people excited, some people are upset about art style or something, I don't know. Moonbreaker, which is a turn-based sci-fi strategy game with paintable digital miniatures in the Unknown Worlds setting, collaborating with author Brandon Sanderson. And Ro, we talked about it live on the stream, how cool this was.
Yeah, the miniature painting is definitely the coolest. Well, to me, the coolest part of it. That you could customize all that kind of stuff, and like you were saying, Dan, that audience is going to love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really cool. And that engine that they were talking about, how in depth it is awesome. Like it's not like I was saying, it's not like a paint bucket tool. You're actually painting it and going to each little section of it and deciding the colors, and you're not just filling it in. You're actually choosing everything. Yeah, it looks really cool.
Tabletop fans will be all over that, I think.
Definitely.
Here we go.
Friends versus Friends, a competitive card game and FPS from Devolver Digital.
Heck yes, dude. The art style, I was all in. And I remember watching you guys thinking, like, you guys were saying, this is a card game. And I thought it was too. And then they showed like a snippet of gameplay towards the end. It was like card-based FPS game. Which I think is kind of similar to almost like what like Neon White was kind of, although I don't have much details on this, but like it looks really cool. So
the art style's crazy. Looks really cool.
Yeah, it wasn't until I saw the gameplay I was like, okay, maybe I'll try this out, because like you were saying, I thought it was a card game throughout the whole. Yeah, it looks cool. The art style definitely looks amazing. Super vibrant. Yeah.
Absolutely. Lies of P, which is a Pinocchio game, and of course, it is a Bloodborne-like game, according to these people, which I also said on the stream, right? And I got some criticism for calling them that.
Oh, from who would ever do such a thing?
Yeah. Will our resident Dark Souls fan be enjoying this, Christian?
Probably yes. It's also a Game Pass game, so I have no excuse because I have Game Pass. So I probably will be checking it out. And I think this game looks pretty cool. Obviously, the aesthetic, Bloodborne inspired, but also like it's just gothic architecture. But I think the combat is where actually I think it differentiates from Bloodborne, because you're using like the Full Metal Alchemist kind of arm. It's actually more Sekiro-like there. I see like lightning powers. He's like Pinocchio is like shimmying down like this thing by just using his arm. It looks actually like a lot of fun. The Souls-like, when I see games being marketed as Souls-like, I get a little bit worried because nobody does them like From Software games. I don't know, but like, I'll still give them a shot because it's inspired by one of the greatest genres of all time. So, absolutely. They also posted a 10-minute gameplay trailer today that I have yet to check out. So,
heck yeah, lots of new stuff coming out of Gamescom.
Yeah.
All right, Stranded Alien Dawn, guys, a strategy survival sim on another planet. This looked pretty generic. I feel like I think we agreed with that. Atlas Fallen, a semi-open world co-op or solo action RPG that looks a bit like Monster Hunter. I think we even said that while we were watching. Was this Monster Hunter?
Yeah, I don't know if to bring up what Christian may have been planning to bring up. The CGI stuff is like even before the Stranded Alien Dawn trailer had like a really interesting opening. Like we were talking about, like, wow, that guy looks really intense. Like when he's in this like escape pod hurtling towards Earth, and then he hits Earth and out, and then these weird alien bison, and it completely shifts to this like not cinematic at all. Like you said, a co-op solo action RPG that looks completely different, and then the same thing happened with Stranded Alien Dawn is a survival sim, and Atlas Fallen is the co-op solo action RPG that also had just a lot of CGI stuff, and we didn't really get to see any gameplay. So, yeah, no,
yeah. This next one, guys, from, speaking of people we really don't want to support, Homeworld 3, which comes by way of Gearbox and Mr. Randy Pitchford, who announced it on stage. Well, he didn't announce it, but obviously they showed off a new trailer for it. So yeah, I'm glad I don't have to enjoy this, because I don't have to support Randy. Anywho. Any original veterans of this podcast will remember the many episodes where I started listing out people that I don't like Randy Pitchford.
Very consistent mention.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to throw out people I don't like too.
Sure, go for it.
Let me think about this. I'll get back to you.
Okay. Besides me, right?
I like you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But you're on thin ice.
What?
I'm kidding.
I like you, Christian. You're a good guy. Ro is too. Genshin Impact 3.0, guys. A story trailer for the 3.0 launch. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I
Enjoy, you Genshin perverts.
got. Yeah. Honkai Star Rail, a turn-based strategy RPG from Genshin Impact's developers, ironically enough.
Mihoyo.
We got a new look at High on Life, where we went into a little bit of a boss battle. Now, I'm very excited to play this game just for like the comedy aspect, but the boss battle itself was very like generic, I think, as you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just the writing in this, I'm very interested in. Like, I don't know. I think it looks funny.
It is insane. Okay, that's not true. Hold on, let me backpedal a little bit. Obviously, people weren't super interested in High on Life. There's people who were like, "Yes, I'm all on this." There are people who were like, "Oh, I don't know, humor is not really for me." It's crazy that the people who were interested in this game beforehand, after this trailer, seemed like they were more kind of annoyed with. I don't know if it isn't the right word, but like more worried about it than before. Because you're right. I think the gameplay is where it almost went on too long. And I was kind of ready for it to be over. Like I would have been more interested to see something else that was not like a boss, like just more like some mission, part of a mission or whatever. I don't know.
Absolutely. I'm interested to see what happens, and it's in Game Pass. So
Game Pass, yeah.
Hard Space Shipbreaker. It's a spaceship deconstruction game, since we totally needed one of those. I'm just kidding.
Wait, what was this one? I think I think I kind of want to play this game.
Oh, yes. I mean, sorry.
Yeah,
No, it's
forget you,
good.
Dan.
I think I saw this. I was like, this looks kind of chill. I have to be in the mood for these types of games, though. But when I am in the mood, I do like these. I feel like these are chill.
You know what?
You want a chill game? Let's go hop in a Power Wash simulator together.
Oh,
You know what? To back you up, this is a 9 out
Oh.
of 10.
I forgot about that. These are like they were saying, this is the most important game you'll ever play. Remember that?
Oh, that game, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I'm onto something. And it already came out May
Yes.
24th, 2022. So it must have been one of those ads that we're talking.
Yep, I think you're right. Yep. So
But yeah, I'll play Power Wash. Hell yeah.
there you go. And to this next one, guys, was quite possibly the most important announcement ever because only Daniel's excited about this. Nobody else is excited because everyone likes to troll Daniel in regards to this. Anyway, I'm kidding. Me and Gage are both excited for this and hoping to get you guys excited for it as well by watching the show. But the Expanse Telltale series, we got a pretty good look at it. And it's, of course, a narrative game based on the TV show by the new Telltale studio. However,
you're gonna say it.
You want me to say it?
Yeah, you're gonna say it. I know you are.
So the developer isn't necessarily Telltale. The developer is Deck 9, right?
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
yeah.
So that's the perfect developer for this, of course. With
Are they writing too?
I believe so. Yeah. Because I think Telltale is actually working on Wolf Among Us. That team is mainly focused on Wolf Among Us too. So it makes sense that they kind of worked with Deck 9 to make this, and yeah, with Life is Strange, that's a perfect mixing there. And Kamina Drummer is just so good as a character. She's an amazing character in the show, and of course they got her back for the Telltale series as well. So very, very interested to see how this shakes out. And of course this takes place post the end of The Expanse because of her position that she now holds. So very cool.
I'm excited. I gotta catch up to the show, obviously, but I'm excited. Also, you know who works for Deck 9?
Who?
Ryan Clements.
Oh,
Love Ryan Clements.
Ah.
There you go. Formerly of
So.
PlayStation and IGN.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
I'm on the Deck 9 website here, and they have and their first splash page is Life is Strange True Colors, and it's like a little montage.
What a game, dude.
I
That was a
love
special
that
game.
game, dude. Oh man, God, what a game! What a
Heck
game!
yeah.
Death? Oh,
God, take me back, please.
All right, guys. This one, me and Ro didn't know what was happening, but Christian knew in the chat. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is a competitive multiplayer horror game based on the 80s movie, because Christian was born in the 80s. Just kidding.
no, but I am the movie dude,
That's
and
true.
I've seen this movie. Is it a good movie? Of course not, but it's a cult classic, and it came totally out of left field. I did not expect this property to ever come back in any kind of shape or form. But here we are, a video game based on it. So heck yeah, why not? Sure. I don't know if I'll play it, but like some people will.
Good for those people.
Yeah.
I think I saw that this game is like a 3 versus 7 or something weird. I was like, that's a weird
Well,
number.
yeah, it's the clowns versus the humans.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interested, nonetheless. Scars Above was announced. A third-person shooter on an alien planet. That description couldn't get any more
Any game.
Yeah, it was literally any game. So, I honestly don't remember that game, so it's probably not, anything crazy.
I'm looking at it, the trailer real quick, and it looks pretty cool to me, obviously. But yeah, it again, like you said, generic title, but the gameplay looks kind of cool, I will say, and the story looks interesting. So we'll see how it goes.
That is fair. Anywho, Word Song. It's a brand new RPG from a new studio, Something Wicked Games, including former Bethesda and BioWare developers, which is very interesting. Christian looks upset about something.
I looked up the trailer for Scars Above. Thank God I did. Because yes, this game design, like the aesthetics, I think it looks really cool, and the gameplay looks interesting enough. Yes. Oh man, I totally forgot about this game. Which I don't know. Maybe it's a bad title of a game for me to not remember. But
Yes.
yeah. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good.
Back to Word Song.
Yes, Word Song, which we basically got a CG trailer, so literally showed nothing. I think we saw on the screen more, from the industry veterans that brought you all these games, but we really didn't see anything else. So I guess we'll see. I love all of those games that they posted on the screen, so if they can capture some of that magic, then I'm in. But anywho,
Apparently it's somebody's wrong here. It's either Word Song or Wyro Song, because on the official, well, not the official, but the Game Awards channel, it has Wyro instead of D.
Right.
But I thought it was a D too. But yeah, it's definitely a D because they have an O in the logo, and it's completely different to the first.
Well,
O,
hold on.
right?
I'm looking at the. I think it's an O. I think it's a Wyro Song. If I'm looking, the calligraphy on the O is a little difficult, but I think it's an O.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's
and the Game
confusing
Awards says a Wyro Song. It's definitely Wyro.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm seeing that as well.
It's confusing because they use two different O's in the same word.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird.
Oh, this is no. They got to sort this out, dude. This is
It's just bad design. What are you doing?
yeah, absolutely. Then they might be something else, but then the Game Awards, I feel like they would have the right.
Yeah,
Dude, this
somebody
is
definitely told
ridiculous.
them. Yeah.
How'd this get past QA?
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll go through another. Like by the time this game comes out, maybe it'll have a different logo. We'll see.
It'll be a different name completely.
Yeah. Just called Song.
Yeah. Age of Empires 4 has a brand new trailer which announced new free civilizations, the Malayans, and Ottomans, coming October 25th with the anniversary update. Continuing to add to that game. Where Winds Meet. I can't speak on this one. Where Winds Meet, which is an open world action RPG with martial arts. Christian, you're excited.
First of all, whoever wrote this article on PC Gamer, hold on, Lauren. Thank you for this article, but also it's wuxia.
Yes. Wuxia.
Yeah, I've decided that I'm not tweeting out my list of Asian games that look dope because I'm actually a little exclusive here for PXN. I'm turning it into a full video feature that I have researched, and I've begun writing details on each individual game.
Nice.
And then I'll tweet after. But yeah, Where Winds Meet is on that list, and it looks cool, man. I love to see prestige games coming out of Asia everywhere because they're standing out. I think I'm saying this a little bit trepidatiously because none of them have come out, but I'm jazzed about so many games that are coming out from Asia, not just China, but also Korea and Japan. But China is really stepping up their AAA games. So yeah,
Heck yeah. You know what else is coming out of Japan? Hideo Kojima's podcast, Brain Structure. It's launching on Spotify on September 8th and will have an English translation. Apparently, it's also going to have a section from Geoff Keighley, which is going to be like a news segment, which is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Shut up, Jeff. Let Kojima do his thing. I can't wait for this, dude. Yeah. Very odd to have Kojima here, and I'm like, oh, it's got to be the Xbox game.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, he's just launching a podcast. Okay. But Jeff and Kojima's friendship, they do stuff like this. So it's,
Yeah. It's such a Kojima thing too.
yeah.
It's like you're expecting the game. Nope. Just a new Spotify thing.
So, guys, now we are in direct competition with Hideo Kojima.
That is a losing
We're
battle.
gonna lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Park Beyond, guys, is a park building sim with big old roller coasters. We got a new trailer in a 2023 launch window. Of course, harping back to those roller coaster tycoon days, I suppose. So yeah.
God, this next one.
We got a car announcement. A mini Aceman electric concept car from BMW with gaming features and a Pokemon partnership. So That was a
I
thing.
will never be able to afford this. Don't show me it ever again.
It was
There's-
cool, like the projection.
Yeah, the little dashboard in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. There's I hope to God that there's a me out there in a different universe who's rich that is eating this up, driving this around somewhere. Because if I were, I would be driving this around everywhere.
Heck yeah.
I take it back. The most egregious part about this segment is when Jeff goes, "Oh, we're gonna ask you what your favorite Pokemon is in a second," and then he never went back. He never asked.
Never did.
Yeah.
I saw fear in that man's eyes when he said he was going to ask him that. So I think he's like, you know what? Okay, I won't put you on the spot. Never mind, because he looked nervous after he said, "I'm going to ask you."
Yeah.
You got to look up pictures of Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen next to pictures of Togepi.
Oh, I saw that. I actually saw that on Twitter.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The resemblance is
Dan knows half of these people.
Hey, I know Togepi.
That's what I'm saying, half.
Togepi. Warhammer 40K Darktide, guys, got a character creation and gameplay trailer. That game continues to look really cool, almost like a modern Left 4 Dead. Like Back 4 Blood, the shooting mechanics itself just like aren't as crisp as a modern day shooter. So I'm hoping this will kind of fulfill my desire for that. So
Visuals look great for this game too.
yeah, yes.
Definitely. If my PC can run it, I am down to play. This looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, another game night game. Heck yeah. Blacktail, guys, is an action adventure and archery game about the origins of Slavic myth Baba Yaga. We got a trailer and a launch date of December 15th. So interesting there. We got Phantom Hellcat, which is a third-person hack-and-slash combo chaining action game with a first reveal trailer. So that was another interesting.
This is one that I think looked kind of interesting, but I didn't see enough of it to really like judge it. But what was there, I thought was like pretty cool.
It looks like it kind of combined like 2D sequences with like kind of that action brawler type experience. So yeah, it looks interesting. Crossfire X, we got a Babylon update for the Xbox FPS. We got a new trailer in August 23rd launch date, which of course was yesterday. So it's out now, I guess. Go ahead and play it, I guess. I don't know. Dorfromantik, a strategy puzzler about building towns. A new trailer announcing a Nintendo Switch launch on September 29th.
Oh, this is the one from the four students. The four are they Dutch students?
Yeah,
That's correct. Yeah.
it looks
Yeah.
cool.
Good for them.
Props to them, yeah, for to have this stage to display this game.
Absolutely.
Cool shit.
Absolutely. Our next one, The Outlast Trials. What is it? Outlast, but with up to 4 players online. A new trailer and closed beta announcement from October 28th to November 1st. So you'll be able to play in a closed beta this fall. Maybe not the full game yet, but I'm sure when this game comes out, we'll have a PXN play session, right, Ro? I saw you. I saw you.
Oh God. I mean, I would be less scared with people, so maybe.
Oh, we're totally gonna try and chop your head off. I mean, that's good. I don't know. I don't even
There
know
was
if that's the beginning.
There was one point in this trailer where this guy just like seemed way too eager to be tortured. Like he sat down in the chair willingly, and then the strap came over his face. Like, what are you doing? Oh, why aren't you running?
Yeah,
But, yeah, looks interesting.
indeed. And the last thing we got here, The Finals, which was a destruction-heavy FPS from former Battlefield developers. We got a new trailer, and play tests on Steam are starting soon. So yeah,
I mean, they say new trailer, but it was like
it was
5 seconds of intercutting. Yeah, wasn't enough there, but like for us to actually like have a discussion about like gameplay.
Yes.
But I am very curious about this one as well. And then like the neon pink cover with the font and the girl shooting, I think looks really cool. I think it might be a free to play game. I think it might be. I think I might have that wrong.
Oh.
I thought that's what. Okay, I could be wrong. Either way, this is one that's as well like I'm interested in.
All right, guys. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just trying to find something about the studio, Embark Studio. I know you said they're a new studio. They're not the people who are making. They are the people who are making Arc Riders. Okay, gotcha. Yep, that's all I wanted to know. So I remember them saying that they're delaying Arc Riders to put out a different game first, and this is obviously that game.
Oh, okay, interesting. I just want to ask you guys one question. I had 3, but we've gone long, so I'm just gonna ask one question. What was your guys' favorite reveal from Gamescom Opening Night Live? Or not even reveal, but not even reveal. Like your favorite announcement or whatever was included in his show.
True.
I don't think I have one, and that's my problem.
Oh, okay.
Is that Gamescom? I was actually listening to Kind of Funny, so I actually am going to quote Blessing when he says like this: the showcase is like it's good, not great, and it's like it seems like it's a lot of swimming in sevens games where like it's a lot of stuff that maybe could be for you, it may not be, but like what's there is just okay. I think that's where I stand. Like my biggest issue wasn't even ads, wasn't the the awards they were doing. I was actually with the amount of like CG trailers without showing out which studio was first or like what it was or showing off gameplay. Those kind of trailers without context in a 2-hour long show do so much to like not like convince me to be interested in your game. And when there's so many games coming out, so many trailers, like you're gonna lose me very fast. So yeah, like I think this is my problem with Gamescom is they really haven't nailed it. But Geoff has been working hard on still making the show kind of fun and more easily digestible. And I think this is probably the most digestible show he's ever done. I'm also talking because I was scrolling through it to actually answer Dan's original question. I take it back. The stuff that I did see, I have 3.
Okay.
Kojima's podcast. That was one of my favorite announcements. Not a game. The PlayStation Edge controller. DualSense Edge. I'd love to see that here. Not a game. Did you say game or just an announcement?
Announcement. Just announcement.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then the other was probably Where Winds Meet. Because I'm just really fascinated in like games coming out of Asia right now. But also, of course, honorable mentions to Callisto Protocol, which I was already excited about.
Yes.
Expanse, already excited about. And then Liza P, probably one that like I didn't really care for it. After this, I probably will check out.
Heck yeah. Bro?
Yeah. The Mini Cooper was my favorite. Honestly, I think I'm in the same boat as Christian. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I would like to give variety. But I the truth is, Wind Rises was as well. Besides Sonic, yeah, I would say the Wind Rises is probably my favorite.
Wind Rises.
Sorry, not the Wind Rises. Great Ghibli
Love
film.
that movie.
Yeah. But Where Winds Meet. Sorry. Yeah, I thought that was the best one out of everything we saw. What about you, Dan? What was your favorite?
I think my favorite was probably the Telltale announcement, just because hearing Deck 9 is actually the one making it makes me feel a lot more confident in it. And of course, me and Gage both love The Expanse, so like a property that we both very much want to see done justice. What?
You like it too?
Oh my gosh. So having a developer that can do it justice is fantastic to see. So that was the best announcement. But man, I'm just so excited for the Callisto Protocol. I can't wait to play that game. It's going to be good. Yeah. Nice December game.
Yeah, lovely for the holiday season, all right?
Yeah.
Before I had a trailer playing, Blacktail Witch's Fate. And I said The Wind Rises out loud a couple of times. And then I said a great Ghibli film. And when the video ended, I got a video suggested that said 10 best Ghibli films of all time. I have not been watching a lot of anime YouTube right now. This is the creepiest. I've been watching just video game stuff all day. Like, what the hell?
The algorithm works fast.
That is so creepy.
Wow.
God.
Are they listening?
Oh, yeah. They must be.
All right.
Jeez.
Can I say I'm surprised Ro didn't bring up Sonic at all?
He did.
I offhandedly said, yeah. Besides Sonic, the Wind.
Oh, I may have, okay, I missed
Yeah.
that. I apologize, bro.
No, it's okay.
Heck yeah. But you know what you shouldn't apologize for is making sure you tune in to our Twitter on the 29th through the 31st. Vote for your favorite video game location/setting. Anywho, guys, anything else before we close out the show?
Yeah, I
Andrew
missed
Tate.
Gage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fuck Andrew Tate. Right?
I was going to say Andrew Tate has breaking news. Andrew Tate has been banned from the podcast.
All right. Well, Gage will return next week. Christian,
I will not.
Christian, we will miss you next week. Thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter for the final time, Twitter. As well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro, Christian, and Gage is not here. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
See ya.
I miss you.